Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this opinions video for WrestleMania 40. We are very pushed for time, so we're going to go for half an hour, right? Unfortunately, no match scores or show scores, although I can tell you that Cody versus Roman got 77% great. That was the rating for that match, which I think puts it as our highest rated match ever, right? So amazing weekend. Obviously still paying the price with my voice. So we're going to go half an hour. I didn't get a chance to get all those scores on the spreadsheet, so we don't have that as a distraction. Plus also we're starting Raw earlier tonight. So we're going to get into this, get through as many as we possibly can and see where we end up. So we're going to start with Lex F1, who says, "Hey Oos, hope you're good. I was there tonight and I'll be at Raw tomorrow. Tonight was epic and everything we hoped it would be. Every match was at least good, and I give it 10 out of 10. So some questions. Why Undertaker? It's a good question. There's not really an obvious answer other than in that moment it needed a big legend because you had kind of already had John Cena. I kind of feel like if you've already had John Cena, you need someone that's going to be at that same level, and there's not loads of names. I mean, really, if not Taker, there's a few names you could go with, but if not Taker, then I would say like Stone Cold is the name I think people were expecting. But Taker's like one of the biggest names of all time. You know, he is a superstar that fits that moment. Plus, you know, obviously there's a history between him and The Rock, and they were around in the Attitude Era. He was the locker room leader. He's one of the most recognizable superstars of all time. So I can't really give you like this great, you know, insider sort of an answer because to my knowledge there isn't one, but it's just at that moment, like after having Cena come running down, after having Jey and Jimmy and like The Rock coming out, you need a superstar of that magnitude, and there ain't loads to choose from, right? So I think having Undertaker appear in that moment was really, really cool. The way they did it as well with the gong, really, really cool. But Stone Cold, I think, would have made more sense. In regards to Drew, what next for him? I think it's quite clear he's going to want to get that title back. It's quite clear he's going to want to get revenge on CM Punk. We know that Clash at the Castle is going to be in Scotland. So, yeah, triple threat, Damian, Seth, Drew. You know, I can totally see something along those lines in the very near future. Plus also, as we said, he's going to want to get revenge on CM Punk when CM Punk is ready to return. And then, interestingly, Lex asks about Rock or Roman, who turns on who. I would have Roman turn on Rock, because I wouldn't have Roman as a face. I think Roman has just done this incredible work as a heel with the Wise Man and his bloodline and all of that stuff. I think Roman probably could have a run as a face, but I think I would have Roman stay heel and I would have Rock turn. I have really enjoyed The Rock's work, though, as the final boss. I've really enjoyed that, but I think we probably could do with less cussing now, right? We could probably do with less cussing. We could probably do with The Rock going back to being a face, because if you go on his social media, he's launching all these product lines like Papa Tui. He's singing Moana songs to kids. You know, he's a lovely person. And then this sort of character that he plays is so different to who he appears to be. It's quite clunky online. It doesn't sort of fit. Like sometimes he's, you know, being lovely. At WWE World, there was a kid that asked if he would be his best friend. So he got him out the crowd and he was like singing to him, like the Moana song, "You're Welcome." And you're sort of watching it going, you're meant to be like the biggest heel, but he can't, can he? I mean, it's a kid. He wants to, it's difficult. It's really difficult. So you don't see that with Roman. Roman doesn't really do much on social media. He doesn't seem to get put in those same positions. So I think it makes more sense for The Rock to be a face and for him to be the victim. I think I would build up Roman's jealousy, have him attack The Rock, and take it that way. So, yeah, that's my answer. Obviously, that's going to play out now. That might be the next story that Roman moves on to. Right, Freddie said, not really a massive thing, but what will happen with both titles now on the Raw brand? Will Cody move to SmackDown? I've answered that. I said, Cody said he'll work both shows, and actually he's launched his schedule today, which shows that he is working both shows for the rest of April. Triple H also said there will be a draft in about a month's time. So Cody will work both, and then I'm guessing they'll just move him to one, and both titles will be on separate brands then. So, at the moment, Damian is going to have to go to a show, a different show to Cody. And obviously that's going to have big knock-on effects, because what does that mean for Judgment Day? Does Cody move to Friday? We're going to have to wait and see, but a draft coming up in about a month's time. Watson said, I've genuinely never had a better time watching wrestling before. It sounds corny, but this is why we watch every show, for moments like this. And Days, well done for everything from the unseen videos to letting us, who usually can't get their opinions heard, onto your platform. Watson, shout out to you, my friends. That's exactly what the opinions videos are here for. Bit tricky with this WrestleMania one, I won't lie, because obviously WrestleMania goes, like, the streams go for so long and they start earlier, and of course then there's like all the reaction and stuff which we need to find for unseen, so it's just whatever time is left over really at the moment. But yeah, amazing. I'm glad you had a great time. Right, Delboy said, just wow, the WrestleMania 40 has truly been one of the best moments ever seen. Beautiful. Night 2, what a start and what an ending. Much better than Night 1. With Cody winning the WWE Championship, it's just magical to see. Thank you for your contribution. And then let's see if we can just go down. Thank you for your contribution. We are indeed in the new era. Gio the Theo said Roman versus Cody 2 was the best WrestleMania main event of all time. We had Cody and Roman start off with a great back and forth, then everyone else got involved. We then got more iconic stare downs between Cena and Rock, Undertaker and Rock. We had spears left and right. Overall, everything about this match was amazing, and the best part was Cody finished the story. Chris said Night 2 of WrestleMania 40 felt like it was a coming out party of an unchained version of WWE, and I am so grateful I got to witness it live. Thank you, Days, as I now have friends to celebrate this with. That's amazing. Glad my face is dark because my eyes were a mess from crying. I think there was a few tears shed. I was surprised Cody didn't cry more, actually. King Sympathy said, we did it. New era, new champions. Andre P said, it was done to perfection. The way they made Night 1 in continuity with Night 2 so that Night 2 would be better. It was awesome. Greatest WrestleMania main event of all time. The storytelling that went into it, it was awesome. Roman choosing payback on Seth instead of Cody. Wrestling fan since day one said, Days, I've got a question. Since Cody is the WWE Universal Champion now, does that mean he's on both Raw and SmackDown? Yes. Samantha Irvin was crying at the end of Cody's match. And thank you for a great stream. See you tomorrow. And I said, yes, buds, he should do both. Triple H said we'll have a draft in a month. Right, Pro Wrestling News said WrestleMania Night 2 was better than Night 1 in my opinion. Some Night 1 matches disappointed me, like Jimmy versus Jey and Rhea and Andrade versus Dominik and Santos. All matches of Night 2 were amazing. Damian Cash-In was my prediction, and I got it right. I'm a Roman fan, but I was emotional for Cody as well. Pro Wrestling News continued. I think Damian cashing in was the right decision because he will lose against Drew at Clash at the Castle, in my opinion. I have some questions. What will be next for Seth Rollins? Probably trying to get that World Heavyweight Championship back, I would imagine. Unless there's going to be a feud that starts up for him. But the feud with CM Punk doesn't look like or feel like it's ready at the moment. And there's nothing else that's shown its face yet. Obviously, we're on the verge of Raw. I mean, you know, anyone, Big Bronson Reed could attack Seth and then boom, we're onto a brand new story. So it's very hard to sit here and say. So unless something or someone shows themselves, and I actually think they will, then he's going to be around that World Heavyweight Championship trying to win it back. But I think someone will show. I think that we need to get Seth into a different feud because he's just had a long run with the World Heavyweight Championship. So even though I'm sure his character is going to be motivated to win it back, I think we need someone to step up and attack Seth. And actually, someone like Big Bronson Reed, who's just won the Andrade Memorial Battle Royal and is currently on Raw as well. That would be a big feud for Big Bronson Reed, a good showcase for him, show off his promo skills and everything. So I'm gonna just guess at that, right? But something along those lines. Who will be Cody Rhodes' first opponent? Yeah, tricky. Don't know because like Roman's going away and we think The Rock's going away. So I don't know if we might see like Solo trying to get it back for the Bloodline. Will Solo be tasked with trying to get it back for the Bloodline? I'm not sure. I mean, I feel like it needs to be someone that's got a bit of momentum and Solo doesn't feel like he's got momentum. So we need a heel, really. We need a heel that's got a bit of momentum. I think it's too soon for Gunther. I think when Gunther challenges for it, he's probably going to win it. And I'm not even sure that it's Cody's belt he's going to challenge for. He might end up challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship instead. So, again, big monster heel. I mean, we were talking about this and we were thinking maybe someone like Braun Strowman, if Strowman comes back as a heel. Or maybe it could be someone like AJ Styles. Styles did just lose at WrestleMania, though. So maybe not Styles. But it's kind of hard to pin down. It just needs to be a heel that's got some momentum. And, yeah, we'll have to see. And it could be from Raw or from SmackDown. Because Cody is currently working both shows. So it might just be that we just get through to the draft, to be honest. It might be that we just do a little thing. It could be Cody and Solo just to get us through to the draft. And then we'll do the draft. We'll sort, like, you know, the rosters out. And then we'll go from there. So there might even be just a little thing that we do just to get by the next few weeks. It might not be that we go into this big, epic, like, summer-long feud or anything now. So that draft, I think, is going to be absolutely critical. Roman is advertised for SummerSlam, so what will he do there? Well, I mean, I would imagine he'll want to try and get his belt back, but at some point we need to build up him versus Rock, don't we? So him against Rock needs to get started at some point, but I think the end goal for that is going to be WrestleMania. So I don't think we do Rock Roman at SummerSlam. You would think that he would want to have an opportunity to win his title back. And I don't think anyone would be down on Cody versus Roman again, right? This time with Cody going in as the champion. So, I don't know. I don't know if we do Cody Roman again at SummerSlam or if someone else kind of steps up to Roman. You know, do we do Seth versus Roman? Because we know that really their hatred of each other kind of cost them their titles. So, do you do Seth Roman? I mean, that would make sense. I wouldn't have any problem with that. You could definitely, because Seth, you know, got involved in the match and Roman could blame Seth for losing the title. Seth also defeated Roman when Roman was champion. And he beat him by DQ. And actually, it was one of the rare Roman losses during his run, you know. So I would be looking at Seth. I'd be looking at Cody. You could even look at CM Punk, to be honest. I mean, you could do you could do Cody Rock, right? Which would be incredible if we do. The Rock trying to get the title back for the family. And you could do CM Punk versus Roman. But to be honest, I don't know if you want to go that big. I mean, that is like massive WrestleMania type matches, isn't it? So we're going to have to wait and see. But there's a few thoughts. Rizzo said, I think we just witnessed the best WrestleMania main event of all time, and that opening match with Seth, Drew, and Punk was outstanding. Raw should be a lot of fun. WWE Over Everything said a lot of people wanted and expected Stone Cold, but Taker is the ultimate locker room leader. I agree. Him coming to help sends a way more powerful message. It gives Cody the ultimate stamp of approval and passing of the torch. I love that comment. I mean, it is true. You now know where Undertaker stands on this. So I love that comment. Daryl said, after the quality of day 2, I'm not sure this 2-day thing works. Imagine squeezing all the great parts of day 1 into day 2 and just having one phenomenal night. Well, it works from the sense of we get more matches, which means we get more advertising time. There's 2 days, which means we get more ticket sales. So basically, probably more merch sales, right? And you get to trend for 2 days rather than one. So from a quality of the show point of view, it probably doesn't work. The problem with the 2-day WrestleManias is because there's more of it that can underwhelm. There's more of it that can deliver, but chances are you're not going to have 2 absolutely non-stop incredible days. We've not seen that yet. That WrestleMania hasn't shown itself yet. If it does, or when it does, hopefully, then I think, that's going to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time. We haven't been able to do that yet, though. This wasn't it. Day 1, I think, I didn't see people losing their minds over day 1, losing their minds over the main event of day 1. But I think Jimmy versus Jey definitely dragged people's scores down. The Rey and Santos, that match was just sort of there. The women's 6-person tag was just sort of there as well. It had some moments. But I don't think that dragged the score down, but it didn't add to it, let's put it that way. And like a lack of sort of, I don't know, show for day 1. It felt like the pyro was turned down. It felt like there weren't really the big entrances. Like I've said in my review, it felt like everything that was missing on day 1 was there on day 2. Like day 2 showed you what WrestleMania is. It sort of reminded us what WrestleMania is. Whereas day 1 felt like it had things missing. Even the crowds, I know they were cold. I've seen it, right? I've seen the memes. So I know that they were cold. But thankfully they were louder. And thankfully it was warmer for them on day 2. So yeah, I can't see us ever getting rid of these 2-day WrestleManias now. The goal is, can we just do 2 absolutely incredible days and have like 2 good days? Because so far it's like we tend to have 1 good day and 1 bad day. At some point we're going to start having consistently 2 great days, and then we're going to be in a very special place. Tom said, it was okay. It could have been better. No surprise returns or teases. Roman ending could have been better. Cena nor Taker ever played a role in a Bloodline story. Cena faced Roman. Wasn't it a SummerSlam? So I think he did face him for the title. That threw it off a little bit. Show was decent, but could have been better. Aldersour said, did not go as I saw, but a really good Mania. Got me fired up for the rest of the first year of the Triple H era. Travis said, brilliant exceptionalism. Rob said, what a WrestleMania it was both nights. Some shocks and some well-deserved moments, but 2 questions. Who's going to step up to challenge Cody? And what next for Roman and the Bloodline? again, Roman and Rock is what we're working towards. I think there's a chance that we get 2 bloodlines. We get Roman's bloodline, we get Rock's bloodline, but I don't think that's going to show itself until later in the year because both are going away now. So I don't know how much we're going to see them between now and SummerSlam. So it might be radio silence from Rock and from Roman. And honestly, to lose those 2 is going to be huge. That's going to be a big knock. So I don't know what they've got planned for Cody because, to be honest, there's not loads of big options. A heel Randy would be fascinating. Heel Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. But I just don't know that Randy's in a physical state to be able to do a program like that. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure that physically he's going to be able to be in that feud. That would be the one, but his physical condition has got me with some doubts. So it's difficult. I mean, AJ Styles, we know physically can do it. We know is in the final stages of his career. It is absolutely now or never if we're going to do heel AJ versus Cody Rhodes, which, could result and should result in some banging matches. So I'm definitely looking at something like that. And as we said, maybe it's going to be solo as we head towards the draft that's going to be in a month's time. So those are a few options that are on the table. And as we said, in regards to the bloodline, I think the top guys, Rock and Roman, I think they'll be out until around SummerSlam time. We'll find something for Roman at SummerSlam. I don't know if The Rock's going to compete at SummerSlam, but if he is, I'd love to see him and Cody. And if we're doing Rock Roman next year at WrestleMania, then we're not going to have loads of massive shows to do Cody versus Rock. So SummerSlam may be that show. And at some point, as we said, Roman is probably going to want to get a rematch. He's probably deserving of a rematch to try and get his championship back. So we've got to find a way of shoehorning that in as well. Right, Robbie said it was all about Roman versus Cody, and wow, did it deliver. The match, the surprises, and Cody finally finishing the story. It will always be remembered. We are living in Cody's era now. TJ said, no thoughts, no opinions. I love wrestling. Very cool. Maverick said, absolutely magical. If you could include the post below, I didn't mind who won going into it, but I'm so happy for Cody. The storytelling as presented below was perfect, which added to the magic of it all. So Maverick said Seth had the knife in 2014. He put it in Roman's back. 10 years later, he came in the ring with the knife to truly be the shield for Cody that he failed to be for Roman, ultimately ending the monster he created on that day 10 years ago. So very poetic with Roman having to make that choice. And, does he choose to hit Cody with the chair? Does he choose to hit Seth? He hits Seth with the chair. Ultimately, was that his downfall? Seth said he would be Cody's shield. Maverick, shout out to you. Dayman said more focus on the fans, storytelling, wrestling, and even production. Sports entertainment is gone and professional wrestling is back in its peak, and we're only getting started. WWE and all PLEs this year have been amazing. This one is no exception. 10 out of 10. WWE is back. Theodore says effing amazing. Dave in real life said best Mania ever. Esmeralda said really enjoyed night 2 more. Waiting for Drew's reaction to being robbed by Damien tomorrow at Raw. Tonight, if you're watching this. In the past, if you're watching this. I don't know when you're watching this. Love the Undertaker so much. Cena having a bald spot in his hair. Finally, Cody finishing his story. Could Roman retain if he chose to hit Cody with the chair instead of Seth? I think that's a question. I've got to be honest. I've got a problem with this moment, which no one's really talking about. So Cody's making it look where Cody is. He's not far up from his feet, and Seth is like quite far up the ropes as well, right? Seth's making his moment. If Roman hits Cody with the chair, right? First problem, a chair you can use countless times, right? It's not like a chair has only got one shot. So he could have hit Cody and he could have hit Seth with the chair, right? He could have hit them both. So, like, this, like, having to choose, he's only choosing who to hit really first. It's not like, oh, I've only got one chair shot in me. He's just choosing who do I hit first, right? Well, he does choose Seth, okay? So he hits Seth with the chair. Boom, Seth dealt with. Well, he still has the chair. So why didn't he go over and hit Cody with the chair? Instead, he hits Seth. He then throws the chair away because he wants to, and he then decides that I think he goes either for the spear or the Superman. I can't remember. Spear or Superman. But going for that move is giving Cody even more time. So I get what they were going for, right? They wanted what people are saying, which is they wanted Seth to be Cody's shield, right? Get it. But I just, for me, I'm looking at it, and in kayfabe, I'm going, he's got a chair. Just nail Seth, nail Cody, nail them both with the chair. The only choice you're making is, who do I hit first? So he hits Seth with the chair, and then, for me, he makes another mistake, if you will, and he throws the chair away. The problem is, though, if he had hit Cody in this moment with the chair, he still would have Seth to deal with. He would still have Seth to deal with, and Seth might be able to block a second chair shot. So really, in this moment, whoever he chooses, he's got a problem. He's got a problem. So really, this moment is Seth. It's not so much about who does he choose to me. I think he's got a problem here anyway. I think his problem is if he hits Cody, that might have given Seth enough time to have got up. Another chair shot might have been blocked. So I think this image here is it. I think this is Seth providing enough of a distraction, enough of a problem that Roman has got to try and work out. And this to me is a bit like, you know, that riddle of you've got like a fox and a chicken, and you've got to get them across the lake, and you can't leave them on their own, otherwise the fox will eat the chicken. And you've got to figure out who you put on the boat first to get to the other. This is like that to me. Roman's like, hang on, if I hit him with the chair, he'll go down, but then Seth will be up, and my second chair shot might get blocked, so I can't do that. If I hit him with the chair, then Cody's already making his way up, so a second chair shot might be blocked, so I can't do that. Could I throw the chair at Cody with enough force that it just knocks him down whilst I run in the other direction? Could I do that? Would that work? To me, this is what this moment here is, you know, playing out as you see it in the image. I don't think it's so much about him having to make a choice. For me, it's more Seth is here to distract Roman, like cause a problem that Roman's got to try and work out. So yeah, it's just a moment that bugs me, to be honest, because I know what they were going for, but this idea that chair, you can only use it once, doesn't kind of work. Crater Face said, overall a good show. Night 2 was a great show, but night 1 was okay. The ending was everything it needed to be. It felt like closing of a chapter and beginning of a new one, which is what it needed to be. You could feel the changes in the air. It was wonderful. Cynthia said, best Mania ever. Cody finishes his story. Seeing Rock and Taker face off. Cena getting his revenge on Solo. Jimmy and Jey hashing it out. Honestly, the best Mania by far. And the new undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. Sweet Warrior said, couldn't watch due to health, but watched parts of the stream. So happy for Bayley, but more ecstatic for Cody. Finally finishing the story. Charles said, this means something to me. Everything Cody's story is why I'm a wrestling fan. To never give up, never lose hope, on your dream. That is the story. That's nice. I like that. Nikki said, when Cody's music will hit on Raw tonight, the crowd will go ballistic. The second night was amazing. It was way better than the first. From Bayley winning to an amazing pop, even the triple threat US title match, and of course Cody finally finishing the story. WWE Over Everything said Gunther and Roman's historic reigns both came to an end on the same card. Different nights, of course. I wasn't expecting that at all. Not both. LS Dub said Cody versus Roman was overbooked, but did exactly what it needed to do. Entertain. I loved it. Did we absolutely need Taker? No. But we got him. And from being there live, I can say that the atmosphere was truly electric. A match with entertaining moments and the 100% right outcome. Logan said, Days, great WrestleMania. My rating will be 10 out of 10. And I thought MJF showing up at Mania. Damn it, I love professional wrestling. And one question, do you think Julia is undefeated in NXT? No, I think she'll lose. It's quite rare to go through NXT undefeated. So I think she'll be champ. I think I don't know how long they want to keep her there, to be honest, but I think put her in there, give her a little run, probably give her a run with the belt, builds her up, put her in that top spot, and all the pressures that come with it, all the media that comes with it, all the extra responsibility that comes with it. But I think there's a chance she loses the belt, drops the title at the end, and then goes to the main roster. So I'll say that she'll remain relatively undefeated, but the Asuka route is quite rare, to be honest. So I'm going to say she'll lose when she loses the title. Nando said, I tried to narrow it down. It's all right. Night one was pretty cool. Aside from seeing the Uso awful super kick fest, love seeing The Rock in the ring and Andrade's first Mania match. However, night two may be 10 out of 10. Main event aside, every match was great. Even AJ LA night, which my expectations were low for. I really enjoyed their contest. Amazing EO showcase. Wouldn't mind if she got drafted and was the one to dethrone Rhea down the line. Seth Drew, fun triple threat, and even the tag with Snoop on commentary. Amazing and emotional main event. As Roman and Cody fan, I am so proud. QGC said Samantha Irvin's voice breaking in the announcement erased the line between scripted and real. Wrestling is unique. Logan said, Days, again, not shocking since I knew that Cody wins and would be the champion at WrestleMania 40. 100% Cody is WWE champion until WrestleMania 41, but I don't know now who the opponent will be. Dave said, night one was a lot better than night two. Night two was boring. Night one was 8 out of 10, and night two was a 3. Cody needed help to win. He didn't win by himself. Poor ending, bad booking. Taker, Steph said they would never ever be in WWE again. They both lied to WWE fans. Harry said, great match. One thing I was wondering was why did Seth come out to the Shield music? If booked right, we could be in such safe hands in terms of rivalries that can start from Raw tonight. Night 2, absolutely saved Mania. Awesome night, booked brilliantly from start to finish. Well, I think it's to do with that line, I'll be your shield, that he said to Cody. I'll be your shields. So he got in the ring. I tell you what, though, what I didn't understand is why did we get the Shield music? Why was it that Seth just got battered straight out the gate? So he got in the ring and was dealt with, wasn't he? He didn't even get to hit The Rock with a shot. I don't know if it was a time thing, because he could have nailed Rock with the chair, right? He could have nailed Rock with the chair, and then he could have got speared. Then obviously, like, The Rock could have come back and, like, you know, started trash talking Seth, and then boom, that's when you get the Taker moment. I wonder if we were a little bit pushed for time. I just couldn't work out why we made Seth look so useless, because we had the Shield music, Rock's looking around, and, you know, he didn't even get a chance to do anything. He didn't get a chance to do anything. So that I thought was a bit strange. But the Shield thing, I think, plays into that line of, I will be your Shield. That's what he said to Cody in the build. Rico said, I love the long-term booking, and Cody winning seems like the right decision. I might be hearing too much from secret AEW marks, but how does Cody continue momentum and not have the crowd go flat 3 months from now? What surprises do you see for Raw after Mania? Well, I'm expecting call-ups. I think we'll get some NXT call-ups. I'm hoping there'll be the odd legend that just pops in. I think we didn't use that many legends, considering it was WrestleMania 40. You know, we didn't have, like, really fun backstage segments or anything like that. With, like, loads of legends around. We didn't do any fun little skits. I mean, really, we just went from match to match to match to attendance announcement. That was it, really. So I must admit, I sort of did miss some of those few backstage fun little moments. I kind of think that they provide a bit of humor, and maybe there was a bit of humor missing from WrestleMania. But, you know, there was a bit of humor in the matches. R-Truth always brings humor. I think we tried to inject a little bit of fun and humor in the street fights on night 2. But, yeah, I probably did miss some of those legends being backstage. Maybe they were thinking, like, it's just a bit cheesy, and we're definitely going to move away from that now. But, I don't know, we didn't have to have them playing poker like they normally are. We could have had them doing something else, you know. Could have had them, like, chatting to some of the current talent, you know, and maybe getting a bit cross-wired, or, I don't know. I thought there was an opportunity to do something, but they didn't. It's fine. We know that this WrestleMania was all about that main event, and boy, did it deliver. In regards to tonight, as we said, I think hopefully some legends, hopefully some call-ups, hopefully some surprises. People love surprises. I don't know. Could we get... Where was AJ Lee? I mean, it would have been great to have seen AJ Lee, and I don't know why she didn't make an appearance. I am wondering if she is putting the work in for a run. I am wondering if she's putting the work in to try and come back and actually do something of significance. Because with CM Punk being back, it would have been the easiest thing in the world for Punk to have announced the attendance, and for us to have brought AJ Lee out, you know? So I don't know why we didn't do that. We only needed to see her like we saw Steph. So I'm not saying we see AJ Lee, but that's a name that I would have loved to have seen. In regards to how do we carry on Cody's momentum, it's going to be a challenge, to be honest. We just need great stories. I think we could go in a short feud. We could go in a short feud now, and I think the draft is going to do a lot of work in a month's time, because that's going to shake everything up, and then that means that Cody's going to have fresh challenges. You know, there might be some people that are face that are going to be turning heel. There might be some factions that break up. There might be some new factions formed. So we're probably about 4 weeks or so away from really the whole landscape changing. So I would say between now and then is probably going to be a bit strange as the dust sort of settles a little bit on WrestleMania season. But, you know, the goal now is to make sure that the excitement doesn't drop too much. But, you know, it is going to hurt losing Rock and losing Roman. And, but, you know, I suppose in a way this is the start of the next season, really. So we're going to have to build some characters, going to have to build some stories. We're going to have to do a bit of building work. So, you know, there's no way anything's going to match WrestleMania season. It's always a special time. But can we get the product to be exciting and people wanting to tune in the next week? Can we get some cliffhangers? Can we tell some great stories? It's going to be a challenge. It is definitely going to be a challenge. But listen, wrestling has always been that way, you know. We've always had to follow up great moments in the past. And we've always had to try and keep that momentum going. It is an ongoing struggle. RDog7190 said WrestleMania overall was 10 out of 10. Best part was Cody finishing the story and becoming WWE champion, Bayley making history and winning the women's belt in her singles match, LA Knight winning. Finally, John Cena and Undertaker appearing was amazing. It was best WrestleMania ever. Prakash, shout out to you, said best Mania that I've watched. A historic reign is over. Roman and Paul main characters and other supporting cast. One, most likely Roman takes a break. We are expecting that. When he returns, should he turn face? I think I would keep him heel. Can be a great anti-hero. That is true, but I think he is great as a heel, and I think him and Paul Heyman work well together. I also think that, as we said, I think the people want to cheer The Rock. People love The Rock. He's so exciting that, and he's such a legend that people don't really want to hate The Rock. Some people have had fun with the Die Rocky Die stuff, you know, and the whole We Want Cody stuff. But now that Cody's done it, now that the story has been finished and Roman can't, or Rock can't take that away, then, I don't know. I think personally I would be turning Rock face. But I don't know what they're going to do, of course. Cody most likely to go to SmackDown. Who do you want to see his first feud with? It's really difficult, that, to be honest. It's really difficult because you need a monster heel that is got momentum, but is a name that he could beat. And honestly, that person to me is Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar's a monster heel. He could have had a win at WrestleMania. He could have had momentum, and now we could have done that feud. And, you know, Cody versus Brock with the title being on the line. It's one thing to finish the story. It's a whole other thing to try and keep where he's got to now. You know, climb the mountain, but stay at the top. That's hard. CM Punk said, you know, it's hard to, like, climb the mountain. It's hard to finish the story, but it's even harder staying there. And someone like Brock would have been perfect, because he's beatable as well, as we saw last year. He's a big monster. He's a threat, but he's beatable. So I think that you're going to need someone like, I don't know, Braun Strowman. But I don't think Braun's that exciting because he loses a lot and he's lost a lot. So the problem with Braun is that he's not the same level as a Brock. He's nowhere near as big of a star. But he is a monster. He is a heel. He is a problem. He has been away for a while. If he has the right creative, the right presentation, you know, maybe if he came back as like a bit of a darker sort of more Wyatt family kind of a Braun, could be interesting. Something like that. Randy Orton, heel Randy Orton. That could be interesting. As we said earlier, AJ Styles, but I don't know, his loss at Mania and the fact that he's not got much in the way of momentum, that might be a bit of a problem. I think pinning down a name is difficult. But to be honest, I think we need to get to the draft first. So it might be Solo Sikoa for a little bit first. Moxie Nightmare said, can I have one for the new champ and one for the greatest of the modern era? Moxie Nightmare, shout out to you. Male Tail Thong said, my thoughts are Saturday was good, mainly due to the main event lifting Saturday from okay to good, so 6.66. Respect for Gunther's 666 day reign. But Sunday was awesome from start to finish. A very high 9.5. Crossroads out of 10. Overall, WrestleMania 40 was extremely phenomenal. Kenny said, too much airtime for Samantha Irvin. Jason said, best WrestleMania that I've ever seen, in my opinion. We are in the Triple H era. Ryan said, everything about Night 2 was perfect, incredibly emotional, and absolute cinema. Night 1 was average, other than the main event. Easily one of the best WrestleManias of all time. Gareth said, WrestleMania was an amazing weekend. Night 2 was great. Alan said it was amazing. I couldn't stop crying when Cody finally finished his story. Nathan said, greatest WrestleMania of all time and some great entrances. Darren said, performance of the event, Seth Rollins. Dude laid it all out there. He did everything, even that chair shot. That's a good shout, actually. It's hard to not say Cody because of what, finishing the story and all of that. But it is true that, Seth had 2 matches and also featured prominently in a third. I mean, he was all over this WrestleMania. So, his contribution cannot be overlooked, even though results-wise, it was a disaster. But, from a performer point of view, from a contribution point of view, it was a big contribution. Jordan said, I never thought we would see Cody finish his story. It's about time as well. I would like to see who he will go and face next for the title. Hopefully, when that happens, Cody will retain the title again. T. Lil said, mind-blowing, super exciting, and looking forward to the future in this Triple H era. We still don't know the name of this era, do we? I keep hearing Renaissance era, Paul Levesque era, Triple H era, Cody era. I'm looking forward to us agreeing and settling on what this will be known as. So maybe it will be Triple H era. Boar said, awesome, no words. Fisticuffs said, too many to say here. Seth fulfilled being Cody's shield, and he wanted to pay for his past sins, so he paid for it the exact same way. Eric said, where do the Bloodline go from here now? On a break. I think they take a break now. I think you'll see them around SummerSlam time. Don't know what that means for The Rock. I would imagine he'll try and get it back for the family. Because Rock Cody is a match I really would love to see. And Roman is, I don't know, maybe that's going to put his nose out of joint. I could imagine that. Him thinking, no, it was my belt. I should get the opportunity to get it back. I'm the tribal chief. But here's The Rock just sort of throwing his weight around. Well, he's going to do it instead. Again, I think the rest of this year we're just planting seeds for problems. Right? Problems, little comments that are going to upset the other person, Just little things throughout this year. So I would do Cody Rock for SummerSlam. And I would have probably Roman Seth. Just do it. I know some might say, nah, that's too much. But listen, this is the new era. Yeah? We don't worry about stuff like that. Let's just go for it. Let's just go big. Go big or go home. So I would do Roman Seth. I would do Rock Cody. I would have Roman upset that Rockers kind of took his rematch, if you will. And I would just keep planting seeds going forwards for them to ultimately fall apart. And I would have Roman, his jealousy get too much, turn on The Rock. Right, Angie said, the whole weekend was amazing. Super impressed by how The Rock looked in the ring. But honestly, not surprised. The man is a beast. Love that Drew got his moment in front of people. When it comes to the beating that he took from Punk and then the cash-in serves him right. Speaking of Punk, do you think he's closer to returning than what we thought? I don't know. I think he just took the brace off to use. I mean, he was confident enough to take the brace off. So it's not like he permanently needs it on at the moment. And actually, I think he did an interview after with it off as well. So maybe he is further along than we thought. But I still don't think this means he's back. But we're only a few hours away from Raw, so we might get some answers on that. So happy for Bayley. And then there is the main event. I said this in a post I tagged you in. I'm proud of Roman as a person. He put so much work into this championship reign. Maybe not always in the ring. And I honestly think that there is so much more in the future for him when he comes back after some deserved time off. As for Cody, I am actually proud of myself for not crying, as my husband would have probably laughed. He only watches for Cody. What can I even begin to say about Cody, other than I am so damn proud of being a fan of his? I have a feeling his championship run is gonna be epic. We are very much running out of time, unfortunately. So we will do these ones that are on screen. as I need to run away because at the time of recording this, there's about 20 minutes till our Raw After Mania stream begins. So we'll do these on screen, but there will be another opinions video. I will do another one because I'll want your thoughts, your opinions, following what should hopefully be an amazing Raw After Mania. So Vectric said, Night 2 is one of the greatest WrestleManias I have ever seen, if not the greatest. I loved every second of it. 10 out of 10. John from Orange said, awesome. Melanie said it was amazing. Cody was good. Kevin said, I'm only watching WWE for Roman, not Cody Rhodes. Dean said, I thought Mania was good. Night 2 was better than Night 1. Was not expecting Damian Priest to cash in. Wonder if Steph is back in WWE. Glad Triple H didn't do Cody dirty and Cody finished the story. And Moxley Nightmare said, in a kingdom of the undesirable lived the grandson of a plumber whose American dream was undeniable and etched in stardust. All elite and too sweet, with paper bags as his only coat of armor. He dashed through the hard times and finished the story. Hashtag WrestleMania. Hashtag Cody Rhodes. Just going back to that point about is Steph back, don't know. That was asked at the press conference, and he said she's back home, she's back where she belongs, and he kept saying she was back, but that doesn't mean she's back in like a permanent way. It just, I think you'll see her going forwards, but hard to know what that looks like. So there we go. Right, I need to run away. We did go over the half an hour. I was planning half an hour for this one. There was no way we were going to be able to do that, though. I kind of was already prepared for it to overrun. But a big thank you for everyone that joined us. A big thank you for everyone that left their thoughts and opinions. If I did miss out on you, don't worry, because we will do another one following Raw. We do that every week, and we do it following SmackDown as well. So plenty more opportunity for you to get your thoughts, your opinions heard and onto the channel. So thanks a lot for watching. Thank you for the support, and I will see you later for the Raw live stream, or whenever you're watching this. I'm fairly confident there is a live stream on the channel coming up soon. Bye for now.